Hey YouTube, welcome to the last episode of our Whitsunday bareboating adventure. In this episode, we proceed from Cid Harbor around to Turtle Bay for our last night on the water, and then when we wake up, it's just a matter of going from Turtle Bay back to Shute Harbor and back to the drudgery of real life. This is just a couple of stills of Turtle Bay after we've pulled up to anchor. And as you can see, as with every other anchorage that we've been to, it is just a beautiful, beautiful spot. Water's crystal clear and nice sandy beach. Well, we're at anchor in Turtle Bay now. That's the entrance back there. That's going along the west side of Turtle Bay. You can see just over there, there's an inlet, and just outside the inlet there's a big bommy. It's like a big bump on the bottom of the ocean. And from memory, I think it comes up about 8 or 9 metres. So it should provide some excellent structure for fish down there. Seriously considering trying that a little bit later, probably when the tide is flat, or maybe just a bit after on the run in. I'll just pan the camera around a bit and we can have a look at the bay itself. It's fairly rocky, as is pretty standard with all these continental islands up here on the Whitsundays. But there are a couple of sandy beaches, one over there, one there. We'll go in later and have a swim on one of them. Now that boat over there is in another bay. I can't remember the name of it offhand. It was named after a cruise ship that used to bring its passengers in here for a stopover, but I can't remember the name of the bay. If I do remember it, I'll put it in the video description. Otherwise, you can grab a map of Whitsundays. It'll soon tell you. Anyway, that's another option for anchoring that bay, and around the headland from that is another bay called Chance Bay, and that's also an option for anchoring. But because this bay, Turtle Bay, was emptying out as we got here, we decided we'd just stop here, and I think it's a great choice. The water's so beautifully clear. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video. I've got Polaroid sunglasses on so I can see it quite easily. I'm looking down through about 4 metres of water, and I can see the sandy bottom. Over there, again, not sure whether you'll see it, there's some dark patches. Now that could be reef or it could be weed on the bottom. Need to go down and have a look and see what that is, and I plan to do that a little bit later. I just wanted to point out how clear the water is, and I hope that comes out on the video so you can see for yourself. Now, if you're in Turtle Bay, the Magic Mile tells us that the best part of the bay for snorkelling is over near where that rises up off the floor. I called it a bommy, but it could just be a minor hill under the water. Magic Mile says that's the best spot for snorkelling. However, there's no beach over there to go out from, and my wife's not keen on jumping off the boat in the middle of the water. I'm okay with it, but I want her to go snorkeling and enjoy it too, so we'll probably just snorkel out from the beach in here and have a look at some of those dark patches and see if they're reef or weed. And if they're weed, well, I'll just be a bit disappointed because I don't think I'm going to talk her into going over to the reef. This is that underwater hill that I spoke about. It rises about 24 feet off the floor. And I used the GPS on my phone to keep a track of the drift that I had over the area so that I could go back and repeat that same drift for any good spots that yielded some fish. As it turned out, the wind was a bit fickle and it was really hard to reproduce the exact drift line after a while, but I landed a few fish anyway, enough to give us a feed, and that's all we wanted for our last day. I've just pulled up a nice fat little parrot. He's legal size, a couple of centimetres over legal, so he'll do for dinner tonight. I hope you can see this in the camera, I'm just going to explain it. I keep my rod near vertical when I'm drifting over reef, so that the line comes up at a very steep angle out of the water. I'm not sure whether you can see the line there, it's only about 3 feet away from the boat. Coming up at a very steep angle, because then when I drift over a snag, most of the time the line lifts clear of the snag and I don't lose too much gear. I do lose some, but not a lot. I'm not sure if you can see through the water here. I've got Polaroids on so I can see, but this isn't a big bommy where I was going to fish. It's just an uplift in the seafloor with some reef on top of it. Well, it's late afternoon, the sun's on its way down. We're sitting out on the back deck with the G&T in our hands to enjoy the last sunset on the water in the Whitsundays for some time to come. It's been a terrific holiday. sunrise at Turtle Bay on our last day. It's a shame to leave all this. Just beautiful. And it's so quiet at the moment. Wind's just starting to pick up for the morning. It was dead calm all night. The water's really like glass. Not quite like glass, there's a ripple in it from the wind, but not a scary commotion in the boat. Absolutely magnificent. Now once again sitting down enjoying a breakfast with all this beautiful scenery around us. We have to get away on time because there's some quite hefty charges for being late to get your boat back. Once it's back they have to clean it up and prepare it for the next booking, and that booking could be on the same day, which means they haven't got a lot of time to work on it. So they do put a pretty hefty penalty on if you're late. But it's no drama, you'll be aware of it, and as long as you plan your trip so you're not too far away on the last night, you get back in plenty of time. Now we're departing Turtle Bay, a very melancholy trip home. And there's my wife in all our sun-safe gear. We both wear it, we don't want skin cancer. How beautiful, and how sad to be leaving it. Oh, that's a beautiful yacht over there. There's so much reflection up here, it's hard to see what's in the viewfinder or not, but I think I've got it somewhere in the viewfinder. Tiny bit of bait motion too, which makes it hard to hold the camera still. I'm just trying to get a few shots of the watercolours here with the cloud shadow and the sunlight on it, creating all the different blues and greens. It is really beautiful. I don't think the video is going to do justice to it. This is something you've really got to come up and see for yourself. This is one of the southern points of Whitsunday Island, and you might have to pause the video to have a look and see what I'm talking about here. But if you look closely, you can still see that there's trees knocked down, and I'm pretty sure that those trees would have been knocked down in the cyclone that went through here, and I think that was about a year ago. So it made a real mess, and the debris is still scattered around in various places around Early Beach and Shute Harbor, Whitsunday Islands, some of the reefs. Nature can make a real mess of things, but nature can also fix it up in an amazingly short time. Give it another few years and you won't even notice that there's trees down in there. That's Hook Island that you can see up there in the distance. That's North Mole and South Mole Island over there. They could be mistaken for one island from this angle, but there's a passage between them. It's called the Unsafe Passage. Funny name because there's really nothing unsafe about it for a boat this size. I had hoped to go through it and troll a line through there because I've heard that a few fish hang out in there, but it didn't happen this trip, so maybe next time. Long Island over there a bit towards the south, and Shute Harbor straight ahead. Now we're just going past South Mole and North Mole Island, which has brought Daydream Island into view with its resort. You can see the buildings up there in the distance. There's a resort on South Mole Island as well, but that's on the other side of the island, so we didn't get to have a look at that. It's sort of hidden away from any of the angles that we travel past South Mole on. But anyway, let's zoom in on Daydream and have a look at the resort there. Now it's still closed because of hurricane damage, but I'm told by the locals that it will open sometime next year, which at the time of filming this is sometime in 2019. Now we're just going into Shute Harbor. All those buildings on the hill there, a lot of them are accommodation if you wanted to stay a night in Shute Harbor rather than staying in Early Beach as we did. Well, we're just minutes away from docking the boat at the jetty and the end of our holiday. It has been spectacular. Well, YouTubers, that's it for our Whitsunday adventure. For those of you that have watched, thank you for joining us. There's something for everyone in the Whitsundays if you go bareboating. My wife and I enjoy the tranquility of being on the water. We enjoy the motion of travelling on the water, and I like to fish. But if beach activities and bushwalking are your thing, there's plenty of that to do on the islands as well. Picnic spots on the beach, swimming, snorkeling, fishing, you name it, it's here. On the plane and heading back to our average everyday lives. Now, if you're going straight back to the airport after your bareboating adventure, the bus service will actually pick you up directly from Sunsail at Shute Harbor and drop you at the airport, so there's no need to go into Early Beach or anything first. Now, I generally post videos on fishing and boating and occasionally something on camping. I do ramp reviews so that you can get a bit of an idea of what to expect at a ramp before you go there. Do the occasional cooking video, cooking some of the catch, cleaning, filleting, that sort of thing. If you'd like to see any of those videos, go to my YouTube channel and have a look. Subscribe if you'd like to get notifications of when I publish something. Click the like button if you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, good fishing.